Well, hello Spring Creek and welcome back to the kitchen of professional amateur chef Tomate Delicioso. I am so happy you're here today. The past few recipes that we've made together have been made on the stovetop, which has been really great. But today, not only have I gotten a lot of suggestions for this recipe, but I thought it might be fun to show you how to bake something. Baking means you're doing it in the oven. So today, we are going to be baking brownies! Yay! No joke, I've probably gotten 10 of those forms filled out saying, when are you gonna make brownies? So, today's the day. So even though we're not cooking things on the range and we're cooking things in the oven today, there's still the same very important rules as any other recipe. First is safety. Safety is #1 rule. I'm gonna say it again and we're gonna play that warning again. Do not cook without your parents' permission and supervision, okay? Just like anything else, this can still be dangerous, so make sure your parents are there helping you with this and they're watching you and they know what you're doing. Now that we've covered safety, I'm gonna talk a lot about safety throughout this video. Let's make sure we wash our hands real quick. Okay, hands are washed, feeling clean. Now before I get into this, a lot of you guys are gonna give me some grief because I'm cooking brownies from a box. I know a lot of you have amazing parents who have their own special ingredients on making brownies from scratch. Chef Tomate Delicioso does not have time for that. So, if you have another recipe that your parents have to make these not from a box where you make them with your own ingredients all from home, then that's awesome, then do that. This is just one example of making brownies the really easy and lazy way. I hope that's okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to read the instructions and see how we do this. So on the back of the box here, it says we will need 2/3 cup of oil, 1/4 cup water, and 2 eggs. The first step is to set the oven for 350 degrees for metal or glass pan. And then it's a different temperature if you have a dark coated pan. I have this one. This is obviously a glass pan. So I'm going to set it for 350 degrees. So everyone's kitchen's appliances are a little bit different. And so make sure you ask your parents on how you set your oven to preheat to 350 degrees. For my oven, I just hit the bake button and then automatically sets to 350. I could go down or up if I wanted to, but I want 350. And then I hit the start button. That 100 degrees tells me what the temperature is in the oven right now. And once it gets to 350, it will tell me by ringing some sort of a chime or an alarm or something. Pretty nifty. So now that the oven is preheating, let's take a look and make sure that we didn't miss anything from step 1 before going on. So we set the oven to 350. Oh, and then look, right there. Coat bottom of pan with no stick cooking spray. So it's really important when baking to spray down the bottom of your pan or whatever you're gonna put the food into so that when it's time to get the food out, it doesn't stick to the bottom and it comes out easily. I have this cooking spray, other cooking sprays work just as well. So let's see if I can spray this pan while holding this camera. This is gonna be an adventure. Okay, hope you can see that. We're just gonna give it a nice little spray. Oh, ugh, it's a brand new can and a whole lot came out. That's all right, it's just extra coated. All right, you can kind of see the coating on there, the spray. That's perfect. Let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is to stir the brownie mix, and the brownie mix is what's in the box. The oil, the water, and eggs in a bowl until blended. So I've got my bowl here, I got my oil. Now, this doesn't specify what kind of oil. There are like a million different kinds of oil in the world. There's vegetable oil, olive oil, canola oil, peanut oil, fish oil. When baking brownies, it probably either means vegetable oil or canola oil. I'm gonna go with vegetable oil. If you were to use, say, like a fish oil in brownies, I don't think you'd be having a very good time. So I need 2/3 cup of oil. You see the 2/3 line right here? Let's see if I have enough. Whoa. Okay, I barely don't have exactly 2/3, but that is my entire bottle of vegetable oil. I'll take it. So we're just gonna dump this into the bowl. Now we need a 1/4 cup of water, and I'm just gonna use this same measuring device. We'll dump that in there. Okay, so we need 2 eggs. So I'm gonna, 1, and 2. Anytime you crack any eggs or you get any eggs on yourself or on the counter, make sure you wash your hands and wipe the counter. Raw eggs have germs on them, so make sure you wash your hands after you crack any eggs. I'm gonna go do that. This is the movie magic. When I was just cracking those eggs right there, I had the camera set up on the bowl. I'm a thinker. So we have the oil, water, and eggs, and the last thing we need to do is just stir in the brownie mix. So I'm gonna bust into this box and get the brownie mix out. Ready to pour my brownie mix in. Okay, I've got all my ingredients in the bowl here. Looking really good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get what's called a whisk. And this thing is really good for stirring foods that are gonna be a liquid, like brownies is gonna be like a liquid mixture because this helps get all the chunks out. The box said to do 50 stirs. So let's, I'm not gonna count. We're just gonna give this a good stir until it's all mixed up. And in just a minute, behind me, the oven's ready to go. Okay, I think I'm done mixing. We have a nice silky smooth texture and I'm not seeing any lumps. So before I put it into the pan, there's something really important to look at on your box. You can see right here, just under where it says baking, that there's 3 different times that you bake for. What this is talking about is the different pan sizes. Get your parents' help on this so you know what size pan you're using. The most common one is probably this 13 by 9 inch. I'm actually using this 8 by 8 inch one. I want my brownies to be super thick, you know, like tall thick. So I decided to use an 8 by 8 inch dish. So make sure you get your parents' help so you know how long to cook for, because let's say you have a 13 by 9 inch dish, but you end up cooking it for the 8 by 8 inch dish. You can see this is like 45 minutes and this one's only 28 minutes. So if you were to do that and you had the wrong pan size, you could completely ruin your brownies. So make sure you get your parents' help so you know what pan size you're using so you don't overcook them or undercook them. That would be bad too. We are ready to pour this brownie mixture into the pan. All right, I'm gonna take my whisk out and I try and get off as much of the batter as I can into the bowl. Now I know what you're thinking, man, that looks really good to eat, but I'm not going to, and you shouldn't either. Remember, we put raw eggs into this batter, which are still in there, and raw eggs have some germs in there that can really make you sick. So as much as that looks amazing, and I just wanna stick my finger in and get a good taste of that brownie mixture, try not to, it can make you really sick. Okay, so to help me get all of the batter out of this bowl, I have a spatula, and this has a rubber top on it, which helps me really scoop all the stuff out. So I'll show you. There's no wrong way to do this. Just wanna make sure you get it all in there. So once again, resist the temptation. I want to eat this right now, but I'm not going to. So we are ready to put this in the oven. The oven is extremely hot. It's exactly 350 degrees in the oven right now. So get your parents' help for this because this is one of the more dangerous parts of making brownies. Brownies are gonna go right here on the middle rack, right in the middle of the oven. I'm gonna close that. And we're gonna check the times on how long I should cook it. I'm using this 8 by 8 inch dish, so that means 45 to 50 minutes. I'm gonna start with 45. You can always add time to cooking, so after 45 minutes, it's not done, it's not quite cooked, I can always add another minute or two. I can just leave it in there for another minute or two. But if I start, clear up at the 50 minutes, and it's overdone, I can't really take back that time. Start at the smaller number, and then if you have to cook longer, then do that. Okay, so we've got 45 minutes. One thing that I like to do whenever I'm baking and something's in the oven is I like to take that time to clean up my mess. Look at this. Look at this mess. Yuck. So I am gonna take this time to clean up my mess. And remember, like I said, anytime you're using eggs when you're cooking, you always definitely wanna make sure you use like a disinfectant on the surfaces you are cooking on because eggs have those germs. Remember, stay safe, stay healthy. All right, all cleaned up. It all looks nice and clean. Just remember guys, if you're gonna be cooking in the kitchen, make sure you keep your kitchen clean. All right, timer's just about to go off. Let's check it out. Those are some done brownies. I know what you're thinking. We just waited 45 minutes for those to bake, and I just wanna dive in, take a bite. We wanna let that cool down. I'm gonna give it like a good 15 minutes before I cut it up and get myself a slice. Be patient, it'll be worth it. All right, so it's actually been more than 15 minutes, it's been like 20 minutes, but I'm gonna cut into this and see how we did. All right, so you can see from the cut, it's kind of messy, which tells me I probably should have waited even longer before I cut it, because that just means it was still really hot. Well, all right, that looks like a well done piece of brownie. I am excited to dive into that. Well, I hope this was useful for you guys. A nice intro to baking, some basics for you. Just remember, stay safe. Yes, I know, once again, just make sure you have your parents' supervision and permission anytime you guys are cooking anything, and just stay safe in the kitchen, follow the instructions, and have fun. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.